Hey, this is a follow-on to that Rattlesnake Saloon video I did where we took our 79 Camaro and did about a 158-mile round trip, and it went really well, except the roads were really rough. And somewhere outside of Decatur, I think on alternate 72, we hit a set of railroad tracks just after that ULA site, and hit so hard it actually knocked the center cap off. And my wife said she heard it when it happened. I did hear something kind of rattly, but I thought maybe it was just something on the car that was loose, but I guess it was just a center cap. So I do have a spare center cap for it. It's probably been in the toolbox about, I don't know, a decade. But it's a Z28 cap, so I'm going to have to modify it to make it look like the caps that are on the car now. Because this isn't a real Z28, so I took the Z28 and it was off years ago and just blacked out the centers. I thought it looked pretty cool. Yeah, I got an original Z28 cap, which fits those Trans Am style Z28 / SS Chevelle wheels that are on my Camaro. And yeah, I hate to take this badge off. It looks so nice, but they're just blacked out. I kind of did a custom job on the car because it's not really a Z28. And I think the spinners I had just had bow ties on them or something, and they were bent up. So you can see the dents in this decal as well, because you know people always dent them from pushing out from the inside with a hammer or whatever, a screwdriver. You can see where it's been dinged up. So I'm going to have to massage this whole thing anyway, get it smoothed out, polish it, and then I'll re-black out the center, and it'll look like the other three on the car. It should look pretty cool. Yeah, all it took was a little heat, and this badge just lifts right off, no problem. Easy peasy. That way I don't have to destroy it. I used a little more heat and then just wiped the rest of the glue off the center, and you can see how dinged up this is. And it's going to require a lot of metal working to get that to smooth out. Even with a little flat black on it, you're going to see that. So I'm going to use just a metal finishing hammer and probably the top of this extension right here as my flat spot, and I'll hold that inside and then just gently tap around until I get all these little pop-ups smoothed out good enough so I can sandpaper them and polish them, and then just paint that center black, and it should look pretty much like the other three. That'll turn out pretty cool. Okay, I got most of that hammered out. It's hammered fairly flat. I ended up actually using this, even though it's hollow in the center. I was real careful to hit around it, and I did a pretty decent job getting that flattened back out so there's no pop-ups or pop-ins on the center part. So I should be able to sand that and polish it, and when that's painted you won't be able to tell that that metal's been worked on. That'll look just fine. And there we go. That's after hitting it with 220. These are pretty much sanded out all of my hammer marks and all of that. I've just got one teeny tiny light little flaw in the center. I might sand on that a little bit more, and then I'll probably just smooth it over with some 400, and then maybe finish up with 600, and then maybe 1200 just for the center. And on the outer part, I'm going to go ahead and hit that with probably start with 400, and then work my way to more smooth. I got a little piece of glue on there, yep. So that's cleaning up really good. Okay, and there's after hitting it with a little 400. You can see there's just still some flaws left there from where I worked the metal. But keeping in mind, I'm not looking for a mirror finish here. I'm going to paint the center flat black. So that's pretty close right there. I'm probably going to hit it with some 600 just so there's no sandpaper marks in the metal that'll show through on the paint, and that'll look just fine. All right, that looks pretty good. I got most of the flaws out. You can see it's a little ripply in the center there, but nothing is going to be real noticeable. And I got most of the flaws out on the outer edges. I just kind of hit the outer edges with 400 and then finished up, I think, with 1500. I probably could have gone a little more shiny, but I think I'm ready to just splash some paint in the center of it, and let's see how it looks. Ooh, a lot of trash in there. That looks nasty, doesn't it? I think we'll wipe that off and start over. So I tried using the Krylon like 3 times. I've shaken the can up a bunch, and it kept coming out with trash in it, like little chunks of dried up paint. So I looked at the day code on the can, and I think it's like 17 years old. I think it says 2007 right there. So I'm guessing that paint is probably expired. So I'm going to take and do the wrong thing, and I'm going to use Quick Color Gloss because it really doesn't dry that shiny. It's the cheap old $3 can Wally World paint, and we'll see how that works out instead. Why not? Ooh, that's a hard button to push. Moses. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's going on nice and even at least. Just trying to get it to cover. It's like I got one little piece of trash there, or a fisheye right there, fortunately. But that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, there's a little piece of something right there. Yeah, it's a fisheye. Dang it. But looks like my metalwork looks okay. That doesn't look too shabby. It's not terrible. Definitely good enough for a center cap. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. I'll just take a little lacquer thinner after this cures for a few minutes, and I'll just wash it off of the outer edges. That's what I did before. That looks pretty decent. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so the idea is to just come around here and just start melting the paint off. I can't do this one-handed, but I'm just going to give you guys the idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go around and just wash the paint off the edges, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, let's check out my handiwork. Oh yeah, that looks good. That'll look fine on the car. Perfect. All right, let's go put it on the car. Okay, I'd say that looks pretty close. All right, let's put it on. Oh yeah, that looks good. Yeah, you can't tell it from the rear one. Yeah, look the same to me. Cool. Yep. Before, after.